Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for everything we discuss, so let's get on with it. So in part 2 we see what progress has been made on Star Marine, and we get a part 2 for the Vanguard Q&A. I figured we'd kick off with the Star Marine update. They started off with information about the big merge, which is getting the 1.2.0 stream into the dev stream. They're wrapping it up now. Also, they're getting the final integration of the General Instance Manager, which was deployed in the social module. They said it will be on a single dev stream early next week, which means that, well, pretty much it should be in there now, which is great news for the overall project. Anyway, starting with UI, the summit in the UK is over, the talking is done and the plans are made. They have locked down the base UI systems that will be used all over Star Citizen. This includes the visor, which is the player HUD, ship's HUD, diegetic screen displays, the HUG, which I'm not sure what that is, HUG, and Mobiglass are all working together. And they are now looking at work needed for the next upcoming major releases. But up next, the HUD's interchangeable chat widget and additional radar functionality. Also, the engineers and artists at Behaviour are starting work on the interstitial score screen and loadout lobby screens for Star Marine this week. So gameplay wise, they have spent much of the week fixing crashes and getting the dedicated server connection to run. This has been largely due to the merge conflicts, but they've had tremendous success. As of today, they are able to connect to an internal server, which is good news. The last hand merge will be done at the end of day today to allow for the automated merges over the weekend. So this is obviously back before Star Citizen Sunday, so this is last week still. So that means that it should have been done over the weekend. They are prioritising FPS bugs for what needs to be fixed for launch and what improvements can be done in the next major releases after that. They did say that they know we don't expect perfection right off the bat, and that they know that we will find bugs. So the next game mode for Star Marine is shelved and ready to integrate and test next week, or this week should I say. Again, we don't really know what this is. It sounds more like a sort of Battlefield 4 conquest mode where you'll capture areas, so it's more tactical based with an objective rather than just running and gunning and killing everyone. The cover system has made progress. They're fixing up network syncing amongst other glitches, which will allow for proper transitions and smoother, more accurate movements as well. So on the art front, they have finished the Arc-Light laser pistol material and decal revisions. They start work on the LH-86 Gemini ballistic pistol art cleanup. They've added iron sights to it, and there should be some screenshots in this coming week's report. Weapons are almost done and ready for reviews. The snipers had some visual effects added. There's a new gadget model for the area denial system, which is essentially an EMP Claymore mine. It's had some new visual effects to match the gadget's size. The old gadgets were too big, but they will repurpose that for another gadget with a different functionality. They are working on line art also for helmet interiors for the HUDs, which will continue into this week. So on the animation front, they are editing the crouch to vault low mocap data, helping engineering identify missing assets, creating a pistol walk, slow and run fast sets from matching stocked set. God, that's a mouthful. They have addressed feedback on pistol mag check animations. They have captured video of weapon selects, deselects and reload for UK audio team to review and sync, which I think we've got a video of some of that. They're working on cleaning up the Silding left and right mocap data, and they're reviewing and breaking up heavy weapon mocap data. They've fixed finger pose from retargeted pistol idle, which I think means that your finger will be straight until you are ready to shoot. They are editing no weapon vaulting mocap data, working on fall animations from vaulting, and close down animations needed for Star Marine launch. They are systematically cleaning up all available assets and cranking out new ones. Still a big list to burn down, they say, but they've got a plan and they're making good progress. So on the audio side, they are setting up the general HDR mix this week, implemented the sniper rifle audio assets, iterating on weapon reload sounds, and music is being composed and recorded for Star Marine simulation and its lobby and the score screen. But they did say that music is not needed to ship, so they won't hold it up. So as said, there was a little video showing us some audio with the weapons. UK have been working on recording sessions for firearms and locations and distances, and this is what it sounds like. I'll play the video so you can hear it. It is awesome stuff.
Star Citizen's FPS module includes armor of varying sizes and materials. The audio team decided it was important to reflect this in the sound of characters moving. Matteo and I started off by sourcing props to record. Using these props, we were then able to build a unique library of Foley sounds for Star Citizen. We wanted to record the sound in as natural way as possible. As you can see here, we placed microphones in our ears to capture the first-person perspective. Here are some examples of the results in-game. From the onset, we decided that we wanted the guns in Star Citizen's FPS module to reflect the overbearing loudness and power of those weapons. We spent time sourcing libraries of weapon sounds from various sound recordists. However, we found that there was a gap which we needed to fill. This was how guns sounded in particular environments, in particular interiors. We enlisted the help of sound recordist Steve Wetman and went for a recording session in East London. Our objective was to capture the aggressive mid-range distortion produced when recording with driven input gain combined with a sense of the space the gun is in. We used a mixture of professional recording equipment and cheaper equipment, such as cameras, for the unique artifacts each provided when recording such loud sound sources. Here is an example of a few weapons using some of these recordings. Now hear how the electric shotgun sounds as we move to other spaces. This also happens on other weapons too. Alongside the first-person weapon sounds, we also recorded the weapons at various distances. Each weapon uses several different sounds to describe how far away it is. The sound of different weapon fire also changes as you move to differing environments. Another detail we wanted to add to the weapons was the sense of proximity as you brought the weapon to iron sights. With the P4AR, for example, we decided to do this by bringing up the mechanical cycling layer that happens as it ejects bullets from the gun. We wanted to ensure that all weapons sounded very detailed and unique when drawing the weapons and reloading them, so Matteo has been spending time working on these sounds. Here are some examples.
So we had the Vanguard variant Q&A part 2. This is questions from the forums in regards to the Vanguards, the variants, their battlefield upgrade kits, etc. And they just started off by saying the kits are a collection of components that can be mounted on the ship or on the base ship to give it the specifications of the other models. For example, they say the Sentinel kit, it comes with a set of nose mount guns, a turret mounted sensor suite, an alternate escape pod, obviously with the tech terminals and the computer core, and they can be fitted as a whole or as individual components. So you could change the nose gun but not the turret, which clears up a lot of stuff. I actually thought it was one set and you couldn't split them up, so you can actually mix and match whatever you want from each battlefield upgrade kit. Anyway, starting with the first question. With the Vanguard's extended range, could one of the variants be used as an exploration ship or for scouting? Will we see pods for cargo, medical or holding cells? So a good couple of questions, even in just one question. There was 2 or 3 questions in there. And the answer is it would be a good base for scouting or exploring. The Warden would be the best platform. And they may have additional kits in the future, but they don't want every ship to be able to play every role. The likelihood is you would design your own Vanguard using individual components that you find in the verse, but it won't be necessarily sold as an exploration ship. They want you to have to buy different ships to do different roles rather than just having every ship fit every role, because then you'll just stick to the one ship. Anyway, next question. Will the Warden's turret be fully retractable? And they say this is still in the plans. That was basically that question. Anyway, next one. The Sentinel says it features an augmented reality cockpit. How will this work and how will it be different? And he says that the AR cockpit is a more complex interface, more akin to the tactical stations found in capital ships. It's intended to give a broader view of the battlefield and provide enhanced information thanks to its superior sensor array. So it does sound pretty interesting, that. Fourth question is, will the Harbinger be slower than the Warden and the Sentinel because of its weight? And they say yes, speed and potentially maneuverability will be lesser on the bomber configuration due to its weight. So next question, will they have jump drives? To be honest, it's quite an obvious answer, but yes, they do. They all have jump drives. So moving on swiftly, which is pretty much a question I think I answered at the start. Can I mix and match parts from the Battlefield upgrade kits? And they say yes, the books are simply a collection of parts that can be applied to the different ships. They did say that, please note, once the book has been broken up, the parts will need to be installed separately as individual components. It will no longer be a full item, which is kind of cool because I assume in your hangar when you store the books, you will probably see, or hopefully see, the physical items on your shelves, around the area, and then you would use your holo table to fit the appropriate packages. So next question, are the books a permanent item in the store, or will they leave once the Vanguard sale is over? And they say they're not permanent, they will leave once the sale is over, but they will become available again once the game launches. Next question, how can you dock to other craft? And it says the Vanguard is designed to be landed rather than docked. It does not have a ring for ship-to-ship docking. It can still be boarded or manually exited, both though will involve EVA. Next question, is the Harbinger more heavily armoured than the Warden or the Sentinel? And yes, it has additional armour. Moving on swiftly again, these are quite short, quick fire questions and answers. Are the cockpit differences purely cosmetic or functionally different? And they are actually functionally different. The Sentinel features the AR cockpit, the Harbinger has a cockpit which includes additional armour panels to protect the pilot. So, second to last question, what would be the benefit of keeping the Warden pod over switching to the torpedo bay or the E-War module? And it says the Warden pod is the only one with long-term life support and beds. Escaping in this will greatly improve your chances of being recovered without the cost of life, which is good to know, although I'm sure the Harbinger has beds on the other side. I could be wrong. Anyway, last question. Are the Harbinger rockets guided or dumbfire? And it says the standard rockets, so the ones that come as standard, are dumbfire, but obviously you can upgrade these to better options when the verse is released, and you can have different missiles, different torpedoes, all sorts. Anyway, I hope that's cleared up a lot of questions. I did have some questions myself, and that's pretty much cleared them all up. It's also given us an insight into how other mechanics may work. Tell me your thoughts. Let's move on. So also this week, the dev in the hot seat was the one and only Sandy Gardner. There was a note from the chairman, this time regarding a game called Everspace, which is currently in Kickstarter. Just how Star Citizen started out. Follow the link in the description to learn more. And the final post was from the Aramis Post, which is like an in-fiction newspaper, titled Aramis Strives for Recognition. Again, please follow the links in the description for any of these articles. Okay, so on a final note, we have affiliated with Razer, as we feel they make excellent gaming products, and if you want to help our channel out, plus buy amazing hardware, use the link in our description, and we'll get a little kickback every time a product is bought. So yet again, we have come to the end of the show. I just want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, and a massive thank you to all our patrons. You are truly helping our channel grow. If you are interested or able to help us out in way of a monthly donation from as little as $1 to any amount you deem fit, check out our Patreon page in the description. This really helps our channel to create more videos, better quality videos, and it allows us to get better hardware, better software, plus it allows us to spend more time on creating the videos. Don't forget to subscribe, comment if you have anything to say, show me the love by hitting the like button, and share it with all your friends and enemies. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in next week's show.